Could you send me your op.gg?
Yeah. Let me. It's been a few days since it looked nice, but that's okay.
It's alright.
Chat. There you go.
Thank you. Okay. So, what's your goal with League of Legends? If you've got one.
I mean, basically, this season I just want to get a rank that isn't completely embarrassing because I'd never played ranked before this. Basically,
Okay. Well, I mean, already, Emerald is not embarrassing. Like you're already in the top. What is it? Yeah, look at that. Top
yeah.
12% of people. So I wouldn't
I was
be.
like gold and stuff before this because I just only wanted the skin and then played normals. So
Mhm.
I'll probably go to like maybe diamond or higher if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um. So just to be a high rank, you don't have any like yeah, you don't want to play for a team or try and be a pro or anything like this.
No, I'm way too old for that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
Still not fun.
Yeah. So, like, what I would normally tell people is that when you're trying to like rank up, you should try and play as few champs as possible, just because then it's really
Yeah.
easy to like learn the mechanics and stuff, and then it's easier to learn the game once you've got your champ down. But if you're playing just for fun, like it kind of depends if you actually enjoy one tricking, because there's no point of one tricking if
I
you're
hate
gonna.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm specifically not playing the characters that I'm best on.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just try and think of what my team needs and then I can play those.
Yeah.
I've played so many thousands of games at this point. I know most of like the basics of every champion. So
Mhm. Yeah.
it's
I
not that
think.
hard to adjust.
Mhm. Yeah. So more than like, it's quite nice because everyone I've spoken to so far, I've told one trick and they've been like, yeah, yeah, I'll do that. But like I think if you're gonna play loads of champs, it's quite fun because we can talk about like drafting as well.
Mhm.
Um, do you have any um, like I don't know ideology about drafting? Because it varies a lot for different people. Um, so what do you look for in a draft?
Well, basically, always try to be a last pick, just because my teammates don't have any idea what they're doing.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I just try and fix the mistakes if possible. Right? It's like I very often end up having to play tanks
Hmm.
just because like nobody ends up playing a tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and then if there's no like drastic gap in the team, like we have a tanky jungler or a tanky support, then I can be a bit more flexible when I play.
Hmm.
And then a lot of times I end up locking in Trundle just because he's like some people just really greedily pick tanks
Yeah.
in at my rank. So
Yeah, I think there's loads of like there's so many champs you can pick into tanks, and it's quite sad because I feel like people don't play a lot of like they don't punish tanks properly because there's so many like insane champs which you can pick into
yeah,
tanks where you
exactly.
just like 1v9 the game on them. So
Mhm.
and people will pick like I don't know Jax or something, right? And it's like it's fine, but you can do so much more.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, does your game have the draft included in it?
Uh, at least partly. I think all of it. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
I was doing a bunch of different things at once. So
Hmm. Okay, yeah, it does. Cool. Oh, you play with Malzahar. Bogus. I'm a Malzahar player. Um,
yeah, I saw that on stream yesterday.
oh, you watched
Like
my
I
stream?
could tune in for like 10 seconds and I had to go.
Oh,
That's
yesterday
why we
was
were live on Discord.
yeah. Yesterday was not a good day. I had such a bad like. I was
Yeah, you
getting
were like
griefs both games.
1-5 or something.
Yeah,
So
it was hard.
I was like, I'm just gonna run.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um.
I basically panicked in draft because I didn't know what to pick against Mordekaiser.
Hmm.
I
So
know he's been pretty good for a while. I haven't faced one in like 100 plus games.
yeah,
I just kind of blanked on what I was gonna play.
I mean you can pick like loads of stuff here. I think if I just look at the champs that you play, I think I'll select all the ones I think are good. Like Darius is good, Trundle's good. Um, Jax is fine, but that's just because he's OP. I think Garen's really good. I think Riven's really good. Um, Aurelia's really, really good. I think all of these ones
Mhm.
you can pick into it. Um, and that's just because like you'll beat him in lane because these ones here, you can just stat check him, and then these ones have got mobility, so you can dodge his Q, and then you win the fights that way.
Mhm.
And I think like champs like Mordekaiser get counterpicked really hard, because this champion needs to be ahead to be useful. So
Yep.
when you pick stuff like this and you put him behind, then this champion just doesn't even exist anymore. So it's good. I think this is a fine counter pick, especially if you're comfortable on it. Like it gives you a good advantage. There's probably better champs you can pick than Trundle into these ones though, is all I would say, because like running it like Nidalee and Lucian as Trundle is pretty impossible because they have too much mobility. And I do. It's good into Pantheon. But I would say you can pick slightly better stuff into this. Stuff like Aurelia is really good against this because you actually have gap closers. Riven as well, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Jax as well.
I'm trying not to play Aurelia. That's like Aurelia and Jax I've used too much. So.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like you're fine. Like, you're picking Trundle for the right reason, so it's alright.
Yeah, I did have like a lot of questions in the notepad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of them was like I sent it to you on Discord a little bit ago. Just like I didn't know if Trundle was even like acceptable to pick here because there were no tanks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I messed up the itemization really, really badly this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like
I think
a warning there.
You definitely don't need to pick Trundle only into tanks. Like, sure, he's really good against tanks because you get the you shred their resistances, which is really OP. But you can pick Trundle into stuff like, like basically any lane bully, like Renekton and Darius. All of these ones just outright lose to Trundle 1v1. Because
and Garen and stuff too.
Yeah.
I pick him into that a lot.
The only important thing for Trundle is that you'll be able to, like, because your kit is so short range, apart from your pillar, which is it's a weird thing to do with Trundle. I'll speak about it afterwards, but because your kit is so short range, you're kind of really pigeonholed into split pushing, and you're not very good at team fighting because you get kited so hard. So it's really important that you only pick Trundle into a winning matchup, and then it doesn't really matter like that it has to be a tank as long as it's a matchup that you win. It's alright to pick Trundle.
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's perfectly valid in this game. I would just make sure that I kind of wouldn't pick it here because I want a slightly better. Like here, it's annoying to split push because it like you can get ganked by Pantheon, and these two ones are like it's really annoying to split push against these champs because they will like basically go in and out. Whereas if this was like I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like a Poppy, for example. If this was Poppy instead of Nidalee, like you're really happy as Trundle because if she ever fights you, you just kill her. But Nidalee will like jump over walls and stuff and be a pain to deal with. So yeah. To do with the pillar, like a lot of times, do you ever watch pro play?
Yeah, They don't play Trundle that often, no.
Mm-hmm. Like a lot of teams will pick Trundle jungle. In drafts where they're playing really long range. And it's because even though Trundle is so short range and like everything he does is melee, his pillar is really OP in like standoffs where you're standing really far apart from each other because you can basically just use it as an engage. And so pillar is really OP, but it's really OP against champs that don't have mobility. So champs like Syndra and Ori and Victor, like these ones get destroyed by pillar, Aphelios. Like these champs where if you just pillar them and slow them for like 60%, and they have to walk all the way around your pillar, it's basically the same as like stunning them. So definitely pillars OP, but into champs like Lucian and Nidalee, they just jump over it, so they don't care too much.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think tanks, you definitely don't want to pick a tank into Mordekaiser again because that just gives him a winning matchup, so now he's actually useful. And picking tanks, like when you're drafting, you don't always have to have a front line, which is kind of weird thing to say because like the traditional draft is just to have like a tank and a like front to back team comp, right? But a lot of times
G2 in the LAC always does or very often plays no tanks.
Like yeah,
they just like
they'll pick
deal
like
more damage.
Yone into Cassante, right? And then their comp is more instead of front to back, it's kind of flanking, like where flanks are really important for them to win fights. So as long as when you pick your champion, you realize you're picking it because you know what the win con is, so that you know how to play towards what you picked, then it's fine. And you don't have to pick a tank just because you don't have frontline.
Okay. Seems logical.
Yeah, and we can talk about items in game, I think.
Yeah, I messed that up really badly. So
yeah, I
we'll
think
have
if you
to
went
talk
Swifties
about
this game, they already look good. So I'm a big fan of Swifties. I think this boot is
that.
completely underrated. It's so OP.
Yeah, I think
So,
I bought Mercury boots because like
hmm
this the game starts out with a lot of nonsense, so we'll just
yeah,
I'll warn you there. But
I'll
yeah,
quickly look at.
I
Yeah, go on.
uh, it's like I ended up buying really weird items at weird times just because of how the game started.
Okay.
Uh, and I was like halfway, like 10 minutes in, I realized I was like against three AP champions on top side, so it's like maybe I should buy Hex Drinker because that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Witsand sounds really good in that situation, but I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I bought it like all the way at the end because I realized, that's an item I should probably have bought at the start of the game.
Mm-hmm. Is it this one here?
Uh,
Yeah. There we go.
something
I'll
like
quickly look at runes while we're here. Like, are runes something you do yourself, or do you use a site to do runes?
just OPGG
Mm-hmm. Okay.
most of the time.
They
Like,
look pretty fine, to be honest. I think.
yeah, it's this one or the approach velocity boots one.
Yeah.
I own the boots early against Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think move speed's really good against Mordekaiser. But yeah, definitely like the lethal tempo is really good because it just means you win every all in, like no matter what. So that's really OP. I think you could not go triumph and do like overheal instead, because you obviously get healing from your passive, right? So you are going to proc this, and it just means like 100% of games you're going to get value out of your overheal. Whereas some games you might never kill someone, and like this might actually never provide you any value. Like I really like this rune if like the 2v2 is how I'm going to win the game, which on Trundle it isn't really. Like you like to split push and then run away from people, or if I want to tower dive people, and that's a win con for me. But I think again on Trundle, especially when you're playing stuff like Demolish, you're not really trying to tower dive people. You kind of want to ignore them, and I think like if you're going overheal with Demolish, this is a really nice combo because you can basically walk up when you've got your overheal shield, and it tanks like a little bit of damage, and you proc Demolish on the tower, and then you run away again, and you just rinse and repeat, and that's like a nice little combo you can do with those runes. I think the Alacrity is fine as well. I would never go Bloodline, so it's just between Tenacity and Alacrity. And you obviously don't need Tenacity this game, you're against Mordekaiser Nidalee, so that's fine. And this one as well, like I think that's correct. I basically always go this rune, so that's fine. The only thing I would say is bone placing is a little bit weird because Mordekaiser can proc it quite easily. And the only times you really want to play bone placing is into champs like Riven or Jax or Tryndamere, like where when they dive on you, they're fully committed to the trade. And also like the way they trade, they have to proc it loads of times. So like Riven will go on you and she'll do like auto Q, auto W, auto, and you'll like get every single bone plating proc. And the same for Jax, he'll do like Q, auto, W, E, all this stuff. Whereas against Mordekaiser, he's probably just going to Q and then walk away because you beat him in meta range. So you might not even like get one shield out of this. Like you might just activate it and never use the actual bone plating yourself. And this has such a long cooldown; it's like 30 seconds. So it's quite bad if stuff like that happens. Yeah, 55 seconds. Like it's really insane. You get it once every 2 waves early game. So this rune you have to be really careful with because a lot of sites will tell you to go it, and a lot of the time it's really, really bad to go it. And I think against Mordekaiser, it's definitely one of those matchups where it's really bad. So
I think it's still default everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird. Like I don't understand why it's like that because I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. Like even pros will do this, and like you'll see them just have bone prating blocked, and it'll do absolutely nothing. And it's just like, why do they even take this rune? So if you do want to play a lane for rune, just go second wind, because you'll always proc this in every single trade, and it's also a really, really strong rune. Like you get a lot of healing from this rune. Also to do with Trundle, you can just do Revitalize because of your passive. So that's giving you extra sustain if you don't plan on fighting them like a lot. So like if you don't think you're going to be having second wind procs a lot, but you still want healing, then Revitalize is good. Or if you want to scale, you can do like conditioning, and that's super OP. Same with overgrowth, that one's really good. Unflinching sucks now, so basically never go this rune. And then these ones you don't really want either. So I think the only thing I would change is probably go like Revitalize, Demolish. And then attack speed and this makes sense as well because it gives you a stronger all-in. I think when you're picking between the health scaling and the flat HP, this one outscales this one at level 7 is when you get more HP. So as long as you're like in your mind that you won't need the extra HP from this before level 7, then always go this. And I think you're correct in going this because you always beat Mordekaiser pre-6 in an all-in anyway, so you don't need the extra HP. So this is just nice to be a bit more greedy with. So yeah, aside from that, I think all your runes, I would do the same, so that's good. Yeah, I'll talk about items in game. But yeah, do you have any other questions before we start watching?
I mean, Hex Drinker. Like, is it okay to buy it on Trundle?
Yeah, definitely. Like, Trundle, and the same with all Bruiser champs and like Juggernauts, and so you know your Garens and Dariuses, Trundles. All these champs use AD really well, and so building AD is good on them. Like even when you want to be tankier, like it's still better for you to build an AD item. So like for example, I would always want to build Death Dance over Frozen Heart if I had an opportunity to do that. Or I'd always want to build Hex Drinker over something like Force of Nature, because the AD on this is such a good, it's like so useful for Trundle because you use it so much. Like you're always auto-attacking and you're using it for like lifesteal or to take towers or in a 1v1, like you always use it, so it's very useful to get the AD. So definitely, like it can't be bad for you. If you're building this against magic damage, like it's always going to be something that synergizes with you. The only thing I thought about with this is that tenacity is quite nice, but you're not even against like any CC anyway. It's just Pantheon W is the only CC. So I think it actually makes more sense to go more than it does to go Wit's End. So I would have done the same. I think that's really smart. The only thing I wouldn't have done is I think Merc Treads are pretty bad.
Yeah, the boots were bad, and the first recall was just disastrous.
Yeah. This does look really, really troll. Did you get like ganked and then you're like, oh shit, I need MR?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
Oh, like way before that, I bought the longsword and the weird item because I think I killed the Mordekaiser and then I stayed too long.
Yeah. The way I imagine this matchup going is that he will either respect you, and so like nothing will happen, and you'll just be farming, and like pushing into his turret and proccing Demolish whenever you can, or he'll disrespect you and you'll kill him like 20 times. So yeah. Cool. So yeah, I'll start the game now. Do you have a? I should see summoner spells as well. Yeah, I think this is fine. I would do the same. That's cool. Do you have?
I basically do it the same.
Yeah, I think this is
the notepad has the timers.
What for the things? I mean, I'll just watch the whole game. And
yeah,
if there's something in the notepad, just tell me, and we can compare what you wrote down. But yeah,
that's good.
So like, I was gonna say summoner spells are really good because you're split pushing. Like you're always using the move speed to like run away or run someone down, so it's better than flash. And then obviously TP is nice for that as well. You can do like ghost flash as well. That's fine too. But you just have to make sure that you're making sure like your macro is solid then as well, because you can get punished quite badly for doing that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to force myself to use TP less, just because like it makes me not troll the wave state as much.
Yeah,
I have to actually think about it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. And I was going to say, like on Trundle as well, oftentimes it's good to not TP, because your split push is so ridiculously fast. Like it's sometimes like if you TP to a dragon, you could have just got like fucking 3 towers on a side lane instead. So like it's less punishing to go stuff like flash TP, or like like fucking ghost ignite or something if you need it for the like. I don't know, if you need the grievous wounds and you want that for the 1v1, you could go ghost ignite and it wouldn't be terrible. But yeah, do you have a like what do you do in loading screen? if anything.
I sometimes open OPGG, but
Hmm.
most of the time the game loads faster than OPGG loads nowadays. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But even in draft, I think like something I'll always say is that you should try and make a plan for what you're going to do in the first like 3 minutes, or definitely like what you're going to do with the first three waves, because like a lot of the time the game will play out really similar, so you can just predict what's going to happen in the first 3 minutes already, and that way, if you've already got the plan in your head of what's going to happen, it makes your decision making way easier. Because you'll have less stuff to think about if you've already decided what you're going to do. So if I was going to tell you to make a plan right now for the first three waves, what would you say to do?
I mean, I don't think Nidalee ever has enough CC to kill me top
Mm-hmm.
with ghosts, so I'd probably just play pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's much more than that, but
Yeah. Okay.
like I don't think about this enough, so
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
Make something up on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes that makes perfect sense as well. I think there's like no gank threat at all, and it's really good for you if you get ganked as well, because then your whole team like sees where Nidalee is. So I'd actually like want to be ganked by her, because there's no chance you die with Ghost. So I think you can look to, what I would do here is I'd look to slow push my first three waves, and then after I've done that, like I'll decide what to do. Like if he's full HP and he's respecting me the whole way, I can just recall and buy something like a cull. Or if he's chunked out, like maybe I can ping for a dive, something like this. But I would always, in my mind, want to be slow pushing the first three waves. Because then I'm going to have a bounce back into me, and on that bounce I can look for an all-in pre-6. But yeah, I think...
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I think like sometimes people will try and think about like mid-game and late game during the draft, which can be useful for you sometimes. But like you need to be a bit careful, because sure, you can say like right now it would be really good for you if you get to split push late game. But it depends a lot on what happens in the game, because if you're like 0-5, then split pushing will be really good for you, because you're going to like draw pressure towards yourself, even though you're really weak. But if like say you're like 3-0 and your whole team is griefing, then like there might be times where it's really important for you to group. So you need to be a little bit careful with like making plans for the mid game, but you can still think about stuff like that. Usually I would tell you to think about like specific interactions you have. There aren't really many in this game. Like I would say the only really one I can think of is you could try and cancel a Pantheon W with your E like mid-air, but that's really crazy, and if you do that you'll faker, so there's nothing really to think about to do with that.
Okay, so question here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we invade
Okay.
at this rank? Because like I basically just always tell my team to go both, just so they don't die level 1.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that turns a bit into a mess.
So
it's like, what are your thoughts?
Shit, you have your minimap here. Did you play StarCraft?
No, I just kept clicking on it on the right.
Oh, okay.
So I moved it to the left.
Okay.
There's, yeah.
There you go.
I used to have it bigger too, but I just kept clicking on the map, and so I just made it smaller.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So invading is obviously you only want to do it if you've got like a stronger level 1, because otherwise you just invade and die.
Mm-hmm.
And invading is also it's really good like whatever rank you are, even if you're like fucking challenger, because like it's still solo queue, and people sometimes just AFK in base, and you might end up walking in like 5v4 and killing someone. So as long as you're doing an invade where you're going in and there's no chance you're just gonna like lose the game off it, like say they have Scion, you probably don't want to invade him, because you might just walk into like one Scion queue and just lose the game off it.
Yeah, or Braum or stuff like that.
Yeah, so as long as there's no risk of that, then I'd say invading's good. But I would also be a bit careful with it, because you want to do it for a purpose. Like, say you invade blue buff, right? And then Bran starts on blue buff. It's going to create a split map where Bran's going to do all these camps, and then he's going to go into his bot side. and Nidalee's going to do all of these camps and then go into your top side, which is good for you, just because we said it would be good for us if we're drawing pressure from the Nidalee. But in different games, like it might not be good for you. Like say you're playing, like another champ I like to pick into Mordekaiser is Kayle, because you get a free lane. And say you're playing Kayle and this happens, and you're stuck topside with your jungler bot side, you're just going to get dove. So there's like times when invading can be good and times when it's bad, and you want to be a little bit careful with thinking about what the invade actually accomplishes. But I think definitely, like especially in like Emeralds, like half these people are probably just sitting in the fountain level 1. So if you just walk through mid, and as long as you're careful and you don't do anything stupid, like as long as you're grouped up as 5, then sure, just look for an invade, and it's whatever. Like if Shen E flashes someone, they're probably going to die. So I think it's fine to look for an invade.
Yeah, so I just always run everyone bot and then
this I wouldn't.
Mess.
Yeah, this I wouldn't do though, because like again, it's fine to invade, but only do it if you've got the maximum chance of success. So you have to have 5 people here. You have to all walk at the same time next to each other. Like this guy's showed before you now. So that's already a bad thing. Like Brand's here, so it's 4v. This should be a 4v5. Like you should always assume the worst, right? Like you should always assume that there's 5 people in this bush. So this is bad. I would danger ping as soon as I see this, because you know if this happens and he gets pulled by Mordekaiser and then 5 people start hitting him, he's just gonna die, and it's bad.
Makes sense.
So yeah, this is a bit crazy.
Yeah, they were basically trolling more than we were.
Yeah, so this is really good though, and you basing quickly is also really nice.
Yep, I want to be back in like 45 seconds, so I'm back on everywhere.
Yeah, I think I would buy a longsword though, because it just makes more sense with what you're trying to do. Boots are fine, but like I think you already, I don't know, it's actually kind of hard to say. Maybe boots are fine. I just like wouldn't want to buy the potion because I think the potion's kind of a waste, because you're already winning the 1v1, so you don't really need the potion for anything. So I would either buy boots with nothing or I'd buy a longsword. And because I'm buying boots with nothing and then I got 75 gold, it feels really weird. So I kind of just want to go longsword. Because like longsword will just help me kill minions faster, and if he does trade me, I have a better trade. And like boots is good because it will give you more angles to trade with him, which is also a good thing. So like neither of them are bad. I just think this potion is probably going to be a waste. So
makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, if you do manage to use, like, you'll be able to do things with this potion that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Like maybe at some point you're just going to be able to like, I don't know, auto queue him on the tower, right, and tank a tower shot and then potion it, and at least then you got value from it. Yeah. I also think, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I was going to say you probably don't want to leash because being in lane for the like pushing a wave is quite important. But I think again, like you're so strong anyway that if Mordekaiser is pushing into you, you're just going to like all in him with Ghost and kill him. So it's not too big of a deal. And it does help Brand out leashing. So I don't think it's that bad. But I think Brand like full clears his jungle before the crab spawns anyway, so I don't know. It might not be a useful leash. I don't know.
Yeah, but these people are not very good at jungling, so
yeah.
Like I mean, I agree with you in theory. It's like I've gotten yelled at by junglers for not helping them, even though they're all like the best junglers in the game.
Mm-hmm. There'll be times
so I
though.
Just make a habit of it, unless I really have to be in lane or something.
There'll be that's what I was going to say. There'll be times where the matchup's like really, really important that you don't leash. Like if you're playing, I don't know, Garen versus Riven, right? It's really important as Garen that you get there before Riven does, so that you can control the wave. Because if Riven starts to slow push into you and hits level 2 first, then she has she has the advantage. Whereas if you're Garen and you get to be there first, then you just get to queue her if she does this, and it'll be good for you.
Yep.
In this one again, it doesn't matter because it doesn't, like, you're so much strong, like your champ is so much stronger than his that like even if he's got like a minion lead, which he does now, like he's got an extra minion, it doesn't matter because you still can always just look for all-ins. Yeah, like make sure you are telling your jungler if there are matchups where it's important that you don't want to leash.
Yep.
And then like sometimes your jungler will be like, what the fuck, I'm just going to run it down if you don't niche me. And if he says that, then you kind of just have to suck it up and niche him, which sucks, but there's nothing you can do about that, so. Yeah. I'd be like clicking into him and seeing if he wants to trade with me here, because like the worst thing that can happen, right, is he queues me. Like say he queues like this. This will be good for you, because not only does he push, he uses the spell that he would use to last hit minions if you were trying to zone him off minions. So you don't care about the damage, like you already have this potion, you've got 2 potions, so you have like basically infinite health. And if he doesn't respect you, then you're just going to queue him and ghost on him, and he'll be like this health, and you'll be fine. And he actually has E as well. Like here, I would just run him as soon as I saw this E happen. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Oh, yeah, and you pop
Yeah,
potion.
for some reason he didn't flash, so he just died, which
Yeah.
was weird. But
I think this is kind of a weird thing, because technically this auto attack's really bad, because he should always just flash away from you and you'll tank the tower shot, but it's whatever. Like, doesn't matter too much. Now the only important thing is that I wasn't paying attention to what Italy did. But I'm pretty sure she shouldn't have started topside because of that level 1 fight. Yeah, we see her bot. She shouldn't have time to recall, so we should know that she's bot side. So the only important thing for you now is that you crash this wave. Or even...
you are crashing?
No, I was going to say actually, it's like usually, like I was just autopilot, but usually when this happens, you would have like thinned out the wave while you're trading with him because of like what your champs do, but because Trundle's all single target, it doesn't matter. So you can just walk in this bush now and recall. And because of like what Mordecai was doing level 1, the wave's pushing into you, so you won't lose anything if you do that. So you can like last hit 1 or 2 minions. I would probably like take this one and this one, and then I could base here and get cull. Is what I would do.
Yeah, I think I did some random stuff and then...
But yeah, now that this is quite bad,
Yeah.
because now the wave's pushing away from you. And
yeah, on the list, that's one of many mistakes I made this game.
Yeah, and it's also extra bad because you don't have a ward, so you're never going to know what Nidalee does now as well. So you're going to, like, even if you are fine 1v1, because sure you can pop 2 potions and still be alright 1v1, you're going to be really vulnerable to ganks in this spot. So yeah, this is really bad for you. I'm assuming you're just going to have to basically fight on this wave and then base, because I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah, I think I did that. And I just like got really awkward wave state and had to teleport back and feel bad about life.
Yeah, and so you can see here that you realize you want to crash the wave, but he doesn't let you do it.
Yeah.
It
just didn't work. So
when you realize,
that's left.
Because you can already realize now that you're never going to crash the wave by looking at this one. Like I would just walk up next to the minions, and again, like if he handshakes a trade with me, then I'll always trade with him, because taking his HP is going to be good when I'm basing anyway. So like when he pulls me in here, I think you should always look for I would never queue this minion. I would just auto queue him and run him down and do like another 2 auto attacks, and you'll do some damage to him, which is worth something, whereas these minions on the autos are useless. So.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I think this is fine. You're respecting the Nidalee gank, which is decent.
Yeah. So what do I buy with 600 gold? I shouldn't be at this gold amount, but I am. So
yeah, I mean, you're not always going to have the gold you want to base on, right? So it's always just getting the best you can do. I think again, like the whole thing about this matchup is it's really free for you, and you're basically auto winning it. So I would just buy cull, and like refill potion or something. I think refill potion's really OP, and you can buy it on basically any champ, like no matter what your game plan is. Like if you're playing aggressive, you use the HP. If you're playing safe, you use the HP. If you're proxying someone, you use the HP. So you just use the HP for everything. So I think just go refill potion and go cull, because it gives you better, like it's just the greediest thing you can do, and you win anyway with it. So that's what I would buy.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I bought these items, but I did. So
yeah, it's a bit weird. Like because now not only do you have more potions, so like the damage kind of sticks on you now, which sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the moat does nothing. the longsword is fine. Like you could have got a longsword refill as well, and that would be alright because you'll get to your first item a little bit faster than if you'd gone cull, which you might want. Like it's honestly preference. I think color's better, but this is gonna power spike faster, so it might give you more value. It's like up to you to decide that. But the moat doesn't make any sense. You should definitely have potions instead. And that way, like also if you'd done that and you'd gone like longsword refill, you could get a control ward as well, and that way you solve the problem of ganks. So.
Okay, makes sense. Do I ever go Negatron instead of damage, or do I just want damage?
I don't think I ever would. Like, sure, it's good because you're against like double AP, even triple AP topside. But you don't need it like to survive or anything. Like, sure, it makes you all in better because like you're gonna take less damage, but like I would rather have the extra damage because I'm gonna do more damage to towers. I'll do more damage to minions. Like, if I get ganked, I have like a higher chance of killing them as well. And Negatron Cloak is good for like running away from ganks, but that's not really your goal. So, I think you can run away from ganks with a longsword anyway, and it'll make your laning stronger if you have the longsword. So, I wouldn't go Negatron Cloak. Like, it's not bad. It still makes sense with what you're trying to do. I just think having the damage is slightly better. Yeah, this is fine. Like, you're kind of still in a similar spot you were earlier, but you have the extra HP. And I mean, honestly, this looks like it's so unplayable because your wave is in such a bad spot, and you're like, the only thing you can do is just pray that you don't get ganked by Nidalee, and it's not like you can just leave. Like, you have to get this wave in if you want to play. So, I think maybe even just doing the longsword refill control ward was like mandatory because you need the ward to play in this spot. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do here, so I just did whatever.
Yeah, this is what you can do. You have to just try and crash this wave and pray you don't get ganked. And if you do get ganked, you just have to try and outplay it.
Yeah, and I think at some point he used too many spells on the wave, or his passive went off or something. So then the wave started pushing out without crashing for some reason.
Yeah, and this is like one of the... Trundle has like... He's good at everything in top lane, apart from this. Is his wave clear sucks. So you get punished really hard for stuff like this. Sorry, there's someone at my door. 1 second. Hello?
Hi, I just got a view, sorry.
Oh, alright, sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hello? Sorry about that.
No worries.
I had a house viewing that I didn't know was coming. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so, like, Trundle's good at loads of things, but he doesn't have wave clear, so you get punished really bad for mistakes like this. Champs like Camille have this problem as well, where they have no wave clear. So, like, being aware of what you're doing with your wave is super important, and it all comes back to this bit here, like, realizing exactly what you're going to do with the wave straight away. Because as soon as you pushed it, you get in this spot. So that was really bad.
Makes sense. But yeah, like he basically, for some reason, kept trying to hit me. So he pushed the minions with his passive.
Yeah, and I'd be... when he was doing this, it looks like he's just inting. So I would assume that at least ganking. So I'd be super scared when he does this, and I probably would have just clicked away.
Yep.
Yeah, thankfully he does push into you, so this is really good for you. Like, again, it sucks because you don't have potions, so you're not going to get this HP back, and he's probably going to be able to crash it, which is really illegal because you're 2-0, like you're 2-0-1, like 3 minutes into the game as Trundle, so you should be able to punish him for pushing into you, but I think that with this HP missing, you might not be able to, which is quite bad.
No, I think for some reason he recalled afterwards or something when I tried to like slow push it. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, when you do this as well, I think it's a pretty big mistake, because like we know
I didn't need to be pushing this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we know Nidalee is bot side, so she has to be top side. Like, she can be nowhere else. We didn't see her gank bot or anything, or maybe we did. I actually wasn't paying attention. I just tried to press tab, but I'm going to assume, like, just for the purpose of what I'm saying, that Nidalee did her bot camps and she's full clearing to top. So, like, either she's going to be topside and like gank mid or top, she's going to full clear and then gank mid or top, or she's going to full clear and then do crab and then gank mid or top. So there's 3 scenarios where she ganks you. So you want to be safe while this is going on. And obviously pushing into him, you're not safe. So
makes sense.
Not with this HP. Like when you have ghost and stuff, and you're like full HP and everything, then sure, you're fine because you just walk away. But like right now, if you see Nidalee, it's quite likely you'll die to it. So I think doing this push is really, really bad. I think you also
yeah, he keeps saving me.
Saving?
Well, it keeps ruining the lane state back. So like every time I fuck it up, he just does the same thing.
And that happens a lot in like a low elo. Like you get so many chances. Like you just make a mistake and then they'll make the mistake straight away. So it's super easy to win, especially in top lane. Because like no one understands wave management. So if you understand it, you just get like a ridiculous lead for no reason. So yeah, it's good that you recognize it now. But yeah, I was gonna say like a lot of the time it's really important that you're walking up to go on Trundle, but here to go in as Trundle, but here like it's good that you're respecting because for all you know Nidalee is in this bush, so that's fine that you're not doing that. Just hope you don't auto attack this minion. It's good. Yeah. So this is a mistake I had. You're not making a mistake now, but I was gonna say this foresight thing here, where you don't realize, like here you didn't realize it was bad to push, but then 30 seconds later you're like, oh shit, I just made a mistake, and then you do the right thing. So it's a good sign because it means that it shows that you do know what the right play is. But the problem you have is that you don't realize what the right play is fast enough. And this is something I really struggled with as well, where my foresight was really bad, and like it would take me a while to figure out what the right play was. And the way you get better at this is just like through habit, of like thinking in your downtime. So like, for example, this right now is downtime because you can never walk up to him or trade with him because you're running away from if Nidalee's here. And you're never going to push the wave either. So all you're doing is clicking around here, waiting for the wave. And so when I'm doing this, I'll like, I'll look at my minimap to see what's going on, and I'll just be thinking about what I'm going to do next. And I would then have come to the conclusion that I need these minions to push into me, so I wouldn't have ulted them.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it's really good you recognize this now. And if you do ever see Nidalee right now, like another really important thing is if you do see Nidalee, then you need to like switch gear and start playing aggressively. So I'd be looking at my minimap a lot in this time. Yeah, I think again, like this auto attack gear is really bad. You should just be last hitting minions. I don't think you can die to this, so you should be fine.
No.
Yeah, it's alright. It might die.
Is it worth trading there?
Like, no, it's really bad because you want to preserve.
I just lose health rate.
Yeah. It's really important you don't go low HP because then they will dive you. So I would have been trying to pillar here, which I assume you were trying to do. Like I wouldn't have tried to pillar behind them to try and fight them. I would always be trying to preserve my health when I see this gank. Like it would be way better for you if the Nidalee was on this side of the pillar. Yeah. They can dive if they stay, and if they do that, then you're just going to have to give up. Yeah. I think something you can do is just stand here, and that way you still get XP. And then if they do walk at you, then whatever, just walk away. But then they at least have to walk at you to do that.
Okay.
Because here, like they might not walk into Tribush right now, and that way you would have got all the XP for this as well. So.
Yeah, I think I'll walk back in a second because they had left for some reason.
Yeah.
So I just got the wave anyways. Because of Trundle passive.
That's perfect. That's the best case scenario for you. So.
Yep. I like the Tribush idea though. That does make more sense.
Because also standing in Tribush means you're closer to the wave. So when you see them leave, you get back to the wave faster, and you might get an extra CS from doing that. So, but yeah, I think even at this HP, you're like a pretty OP champ. So when you do, you're gonna heal like another maybe 50 health of these minions. You can just try and slow push now, and you'll probably be alright. Actually, no, sorry. I think I'm wrong. Like, there's no chance that it'll work, because Mordekaiser hasn't based yet, so he's going to come back and be full HP with items, and I think you probably won't heal enough to push into him. So at this point, like, again, because you have no wave clear, you're just gonna have to find like the best time to take a bad base, because you basically always have to base here, because I don't think you'll be strong enough to crash a wave against Mordekaiser if he recalls right now, and you don't have enough wave clear to crash this wave, so you just need to find a base where you lose the minimum, I think.
No, not for another minute. I think we stayed in lane forever.
Yeah, I think right now, as soon as I last hit this minion, I would have started basing, and then you can buy like Swifties and run max lane.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I think I stayed for like a minute more.
Yeah, it kind of depends a lot on your matchup knowledge right now, because staying is really good for you if you are strong enough to crash the wave. And this is just me not knowing how strong Trundle is, because I don't think he is strong enough, but I don't know, maybe he is. So
yeah, it's been a few days. I don't quite remember what I did. But
yeah, in this spot, I would just auto as much as I can to try and have as big a minion wave as I can, which will help me crash this wave.
Okay, I actually stayed for 20 more seconds, not a minute. So
it looks
I just tried to crash, and then I had to make a decision when Mordekaiser showed up.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, now I am looking at it, I think you can just all in him here, and you're going to win the fight. If he trades with you, you've got all these casters to help with you. If he doesn't trade with you, you'll just kill these minions, and then you can just base after you walk the wave in. So yeah, I would click forward and set it backwards here. I would have looked for the all-in, because you have lethal tempo, you have Q to take his AD, you got the, well, you don't actually have W, but you will get W if the fight goes on for longer. And you can also just below him here, and he's going to be stuck in all these minions, so like, you got a lot of reasons to fight him here. And if it does go badly, then like, whatever, at least you took all this health from him when he came back to lane. So even though you are going to miss a lot of health from this wave, he's probably going to have to base, otherwise he'll be in lane on low HP. So yeah, I think this is quite bad that you let him do this for free. I would have walked to him just to try and get the wave in.
Yeah.
Like, the one awkward thing that can happen is if he stands right here, where if you attack him, you take a tower shot, but then also your caster minions are like here, so they haven't actually taken any tower aggro, and that can be quite awkward sometimes, but I don't see many players do that, so I don't know. If he does do that, it sucks for you, but there isn't really any counterplay to it, so you should just check if he does do it or not, I think.
Sounds logical. I just like panicked here because I couldn't, like, didn't want to risk fighting him. Yeah. I probably just should.
I mean, yeah, and also another thing, just Mordecai specific, is when you're in your wave, like, he can't isolated Q you, so he doesn't have that either. Like, you have so many.
Yeah, and his cooldowns are super long.
Yeah, and you also had bone plating, so you will actually get value out of your bone plating as well, which is like yet another reason why you'll be stronger in this fight. So I would definitely look for the fight there. But yeah, I mean, this is a bad base. I would have taken it
earlier,
but it would have been a mistake. So this is fine for you. So yeah.
Okay.
And now you buy refillable potion as well, which is good.
Yep.
This obviously would have had more value the earlier in the game you buy it, because you would get more uses out of it. But yeah,
and you would buy boots still, or Sheen is fine?
I think now it's good to buy Sheen, because when you had 600 gold here, you can't really buy anything. Like, you could buy...
Sheen is like 650.
Yeah, you could never wait
because of the
Sheen.
Weird item.
Yeah, you can never wait for Sheen, because 25 seconds of base with your wave pushing away from you is just terrible. Like, you can never do that. So I would have just done Swifties, because it helps me get back to lane faster, and it's the boots I'm going to build anyway, so that's why it's really good.
Makes sense.
But the same thing I was talking about level 1, where I was like, I would buy longsword and refill potion. I think when you base here and you buy Sheen, it's correct, because it's giving you more, like, power to do what you want to do, which is like auto the turret basically, and like minions and stuff with the Sheen and the longsword and the refill potion. Like all of these things help you do that. So I think this
Makes
I would have
sense.
done the same buy. Yeah, this is fine. And you see how even with him freezing it, he was like this HP, but he froze it, so he took like this much damage, like 100 damage, just from freezing the wave. If he'd done that extra trade, he would be like this HP. And there's like no chance he kills you, because if the trade's ever going bad for you, you just run away. So, yeah, so I would have done that. And right now he either would have recalled, and you get to free hit the turret, or he's in lane with no HP, which is really bad for him, and you'll still just get to free hit the turret, because what you should do right now is you should kill these minions. You should stand like behind the turret and just wait for your demolish, and then like auto Q it. And then you just get to start taking the turret slowly. Although, yeah, he's level 6, so you can't actually do that. It sucks a bit. And he's doing the thing I was talking about, where he like, you can't really all in him here, because he's standing on his turret and he's still tanking the caster minions. And this is a bit awkward for you, but yeah. I would still walk at him a little bit, because he does have to take a little step back, and the closer these minions get, the more likely it is to come into you. And you can do loads of stuff against Mordekaiser to like bait him into pushing the wave, just by standing in your wave. So there's lots of reasons to do that. I think here it's fine to ward as well, though. Although I think you should be able to tell when Nidalee is without warding, I think. Because I would assume that she's bot side right now. But yeah, you see her here on this ward. Did you see that?
Alright, there you go.
Yeah, so when you see her there, you don't need to place this ward for like another 30 seconds. So I think you can be a little bit greedy and hold it a little bit longer. And push the wave in a little bit more. Because even though he's level 6, there's no chance he ults you and kills you, because you're just that much. You're still Trundle, right? So it's a crazy one.
Yeah, I was just waiting for my level 6, I think, because I was like one creep away.
And something else, like, do you ever... So something really OP with these laners, where you have like these non-interaction lanes, like there's basically two things that I like to do. I either like to keep it frozen in front of my turret so that I can all in them, or I just like to proxy waves here and then start farming jungle camps. So when you go Sheen, it's really important that you're looking for the freeze, because like otherwise it's kind of useless that you bought this item. Otherwise I would just be trying to build Tiamats, because then I can start like killing these waves really, really quickly, and I can walk behind the tower and start proxying, and then like farming all the jungle camps. So when the wave is in this really like terrible spot for you, you kind of need to do everything you can to get out of this spot, even if it means like killing everything and trading him down to like this health and having to recall yourself. That's still good for you, because eventually the wave will come into you. So even if you do take a bad trade right now to fix the wave, it's the correct thing to do. So I wouldn't be scared at all right now. I would just be autoing as much as I can. And then here is like basically a spacing thing, where you just have to imagine the tower's range and stand right on the edge. And if he's ever trying to trade with you, you have to trade back with him. And when he's not trading with you, you're just autoing minions. But yeah, I think also, as I was saying earlier, like about baiting Mordekaiser to use spells on the wave, you don't even need to, like when you see this, when you see this and he does his EQ, that's when you should stop autoing, because now the wave's pushing into you. So. And what you can even do is, if you walk into him and bait him into autoing you, like it'll turn on his passive as well, and you can still just walk away and like heal up with potions and stuff. Because again, like you should just do everything in your power to make the wave come into you right now. Because here again, like he's only got 3 casters, so this will come into you.
Yeah.
So this is really nice now. This is exactly what you want. It should be unplayable for Mordekaiser at this point.
Yeah, the Shan was a bit upset.
Yeah, because even though this wave is even, right, it's still going to push into you just because it was closer to his tower. Like it's on this side of the lane, so it's going to push into you.
Yep.
So, like there'll be times here, like on like a lot of champs like Darius and Garen could make this mistake where right now they'll start trading with him and then they'll accidentally AoE the wave. And even though they might get a good trade, it's going to make the wave push into them, which is really bad. Like that's what Mordekaiser did, right? Where he was like, oh, this is a nice trade, but then he fucked up his wave doing it. And so even though you don't have any AoE, the same concept still applies, because if you go and start altering him now, you're going to draw aggro from all these minions, and that means you're going to start pushing into him. So unless you get it like a opportunity where you're basically going to kill him or make him recall, I wouldn't trade him until the wave's a little bit closer to me right now, because it's really important the wave doesn't push into me. If he, I was going to say, if he queues like this, now it's okay, because he has such a big minion lead, it doesn't matter if you take aggro, because it will still keep pushing into you. So right now you can start looking for an all-in. So I would just stand like right here next to this minion. So he has to use a spell to last hit this, or you'll just kill him. Because he shouldn't ever be allowed to last hit a minion with an auto attack right now. That's really illegal. And this is terrible as well from Brand. Like,
yeah,
it's really really bad by Brand. Yeah. So, like I thought it was fine when I saw him in Tribush, because he's just covering the Nidalee, but he should either be like invading or recalling in this bush. But when he shows like this, it's bad because everyone sees him. And also like sometimes in low elo, like junglers will just use a spell on the wave here, and it's so tilting when they do that, because it just ruins your entire game plan. So just be a little bit aware that when you see him not walk out of this Tribush, the best thing to do would have been to danger ping him away from the...
Again, I don't know if I should or not, because like people tilt so easily in the jungle. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I just I don't use pings on my jungler ever.
Okay.
Even if they're fucking up.
That's kind of a bad habit. Like
it's probably I probably should at some point. I just
like in my experience, junglers won't get, or players in general won't get tilted if you ping them off from a bad play before it happens, but they'll get like massively tilted if you ping them after a play and type to them after the play and be like, you shouldn't have done that. So if you've got the foresight to see that him showing right now is really bad and you danger ping him, then unless he's a complete degenerate, he shouldn't get like tilted. And even if he does, like if you hadn't pinged him, he still would have just walked here and you'd be in a bad position. So if he runs it down over one ping then I don't know, you're probably going to lose the game anyway. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, this is super nice for you. As long as you keep...
I think he comes back like another time or something, and he gets upset that I'm not fighting the Mordekaiser somehow.
Because also here, like, it's not like you need Bran to kill this Mordekaiser, so there's literally no reason for him to be here apart from like either fighting Nidalee or like doing jungle camps because he has a winning top lane. So like sure, it's fine for him to be topside, but not because he should be ganking top. That's not why he should be topside. But yeah, this is really good. Just stand like right here and try and dodge his spells. Like not his Q, just space his Q, but try and dodge his E. And just don't let him farm anything. And you can probably start zoning him off XP, because he's always going to have to walk all the way back here the more you do this. So yeah, these auto attacks are bad because I want this wave to be as big as possible. So it's like I have as much of the wave to play with as possible. Like I never want to accidentally push right now. So the more he has, the less likely that's going to happen. So I don't want to do these autos. And also like having minions alive is kind of good for you in a weird way, because you get a little bit of lifesteal. And when you kill them, you're going to get the health back as well. So it's kind of bad you're doing it with full HP. So yeah, I wouldn't do those auto attacks. And right here again, like he last hits 2 minions, where you could have just been stood here and all into him. Still right now, I think you could just pillar and ghost and he would die. But yeah, I think it's kind of illegal that he's like 3 minions right there. He just got for no reason. Yeah, and I think you're thinning a bit too much as well. And here as well, the brand makes it really easy for you when he pings that he's on the way. Now you really can just danger ping him, because it's obvious what he's doing. And because you've like overthinned it, you've only got 3 minions now, so you have to hold the minions like basically here instead of if you had 4 or 5 or 6, you could hold them down here and they'd still freeze. Which is worse because if they were down here, you have all of this room to all in him, whereas if he's here, you have this much room to all in him. So I'd want as much space in the lane to all in him as I can. And this might even start pushing away from you now because they're so close to your tower, which is really, really bad if that happens. And another thing you should do is try and last hit these minions on as low HP as you can, because like when you kill them on half HP like this, they haven't tanked like their full worth of HP in damage, so it's just basically pushing when you don't have to push. So try and last hit them when they're like this health, and that way it's more likely that you'll maintain the freeze, which is what you want to do in this spot. Especially with like.
It all makes sense. It's like gotta figure out how to apply it in game.
Yeah, this one's a really good example because it's dying so slowly, but you still lasted it at like full HP, and it could have been alive for like another 5 seconds of doing its own damage. So. Because here, do you remember if like you had in your mind that you wanted to freeze? Because you're playing like you are, kind of. Almost. I
think so. Yeah, that's why I'm playing so defensively.
Yeah.
I should probably just be killing Mordekaiser.
I think.
I just haven't faced a Mordekaiser, so I just don't know if I actually kill him.
Oh, you definitely kill him. Like you kill literally.
I probably do.
Yeah, like you kill literally every champ in the game on Trundle. Like even Darius, you just beat him 1v1. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're kind of you're at the stage where
safe.
You're kind of like halfway, like you've got like half the thought process down. So you're like, first of all, you're thinking about your wave, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna freeze. So you've done that, but then you haven't thought about, or it doesn't look like you've thought about what this freeze is achieving. Because if you're thinking this freeze is gonna allow me to all in Mordekaiser, then you'd be clicking up to try and trade with him, right? And then if you know that this all-in is going to like zone him off the wave, then I can start zoning him off like XP and CS and I don't know, like you can start clearing wards. Like again, you could have replaced this ward right now because now Nidalee actually can be top, so it's nice to have the ward. And it's kind of like you're at this point here in the thought process, so you don't.
Yeah, like I can stop him from getting minions, so that's good.
Yeah,
and I'm safe.
Realized that you should freeze, but you haven't realized what the freeze is actually achieving for you yet. Because when this is like in your brain, then it'll be much easier to realize that like standing here right now is a super good thing to do. Because now the freeze breaks, so you lost the lane was over for Mordekaiser. Like he shouldn't have been able to CS a minion for the rest of the game, but now he's going to get free farm, which is really sad. And here again, he just all-ins.
Yeah, he should be dead here.
He doesn't all-in, sorry, like he last hits here, and you should all-in him. And like, sure, it's scary that Nidalee can be here, but again, if you see Nidalee, you're just going to walk away. It's not like you're playing against, I don't know, Lee Sin or something, and he's going to like flash kick you if you ever walk into the river. So it's not scary at all for you. Yeah, and now it's just going to slow push away, and if Mordekaiser is good, he won't ever push back into you. Yeah, so he gets all the CS for free. Okay, he does decide to walk up for some reason.
He
doesn't have to do this, right? Like, right here, you can just stand on the tower and wait for the wave.
You should just wait, for sure.
So, like,
my thought process was like, I have my teleport back up, so I should probably reset soon. So I'm trying to push the wave now. Here, do I just kill him in his ultimate anyways, or do I just leave?
If you can, like if you kill him here, it's amazing because he's gonna miss a 3-wave slow push.
Yeah.
So if you can kill him, yeah, kill him. I don't know if you can.
I think I just walked away because I just didn't know if I could do that because he has flash and I don't.
This is like
or maybe flash before, I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why like one-tricking is really good, because you just know your damage and if you can kill him or not. But if you don't know, then just do it, because you need to find out some way. So just limit test it. If you don't kill him, then you know for next time you don't kill him. But it's better to die and know that you couldn't have killed him than it is to let him live and never know, because then you'll never get better, right? You'll never know how good your champion is. So you need to test your limits. I'd probably proc to Marsh and then do it. But yeah, you probably can, right? It's going to be like auto Q and then like 2 or 3 auto attacks, and there's no way he kills you that fast. So even if you go 1 for 1, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should just run in. I just had no idea about how many minions I had left, so I didn't want to die. Which is just like just me being bad.
Yeah, this is fine though, because again, like you have a second chance to redeem yourself where you can freeze on him now. So let's see if you do it this time. I was thinking,
yeah, and then I bought Mercury Treads.
Yeah.
I was like, it's good because they're all AP, and then I realized later in the game they don't have any CC, so why am I buying this?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people fall into that trap where they'll buy Merc Treads because it's good against magic damage, but it's not actually good against magic damage.
Yeah. It's like 25 or 30?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as a normal magic mantle. You get 25 and a normal magic is 25, right? So you're spending 1100 gold for 450 gold worth of stats. Whereas you could buy Swifties and null magic, which costs less gold, 50 less gold. You get the same MR, you get slow resist, and you get another 40 move speed on top of it. So it's like completely trolled to buy this if you're not against CC. Like the only reason you should ever buy this boot is if you're against CC and you need tenacity. That's the only thing it's good for. Otherwise it's not good for anything.
I figured that out later in the game too, so I know.
Yeah.
So you still go for Tiamat first here, or something else? So I think I went for what is it, Hexdrink or something for some reason. But
yeah, I mean,
my optimization was terrible this game. I just every decision I made was bad. So.
Again, I would say there's 2 options where the options are Tiamat or anything else, like single target damage. Basically, it should always be damage though. And like Tiamat is good if you think like the point where freezing on him has run out of value, and now it's your time to start proxying and pushing and taking towers and farming all this stuff. But I think again, like as we just saw, the wave was in a good spot for you, so you are going to be able to perma freeze on him. So you can just buy single target items. And yeah, in that case, I just would have bought the boots, like Swifties, and you don't even have to go Swifties, right? You could have done Phage, right? Because you still get like whatever it is, as long as it's not Tiamat and you freeze on him here. Like even with Merc Treads, you can still do the same thing, even though it's bad. Like you can still do what your game plan is going to be right now, which is to freeze the wave here and never let him see us again. Yeah, this is good. I like that you hold your ward this time because I assume it's because you.
Yeah, we saw Nidalee and he has a pink ward, so I try and.
Well, if you know he has a pink ward, just kill the pink ward, unless you saw it in his inventory. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really smart. Hardly any. I don't even do this. I don't do it enough. Where you check to see if they can sweep your wards. So it's really smart you do that. Here it's like you have this huge advantage again, right? Where he's got 2 extra minions and you've got all of these ones, so you can just like stand here and trade with him and it's not going to screw up your wave. So I would just walk up here, stand by the bush. If he ever walks up, I auto Q him and then walk back into the bush. And if I ever take damage, I'm just going to life steal it with my potion and be okay. Because again,
I play way too safe here.
Yeah, your goal should be to set up the lane for an all-in. When did you use your ultimate? Was that when you got a splash? Yeah.
Just before, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks a little bit that you don't have your ultimate, but I still think like he doesn't have ultimate either, right? So you are still really OP. Yeah, I would never let him crash this wave right now. I hope you don't let him do this. It's a little bit close to a tower. Again, yeah, like it's too close to a tower, so it's gonna push away. So
I just play way too safe.
Yeah, I never would have let him do that. Because now again, like you miss the whole purpose of playing Trundle, right? Because you're not going to get any advantage from your lane phase, and you're just going to leave the lane, despite being 2-0 in like the first 2 minutes. You're going to leave the lane with 7 CS per minute, and like haven't put the Mordekaiser behind at all. And like this game, Mordekaiser should get the first 3 waves, and then after that, when it bounces back into him, he shouldn't get another minion for the rest of the game. So, unless he gets help from his team. Yeah. This is quite sad.
Yeah, and then my team does stuff.
Yeah, because obviously, like again, Trundle, he gets his advantage from the lane, and he's bad in team fights because he gets kited, and Mordekaiser is going to provide value to like in fights because he can always ulti someone out of a fight, and he should be advantaged in that ultimate, especially if he's gone even in lane, like he's not even behind, so he's just going to provide more value in fights, and all you've got is your pillar to do that, which is it's kind of bad for you.
What is next? Later.
This might be a waste of time. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I didn't see Shen taunt it, or didn't register it anyways. Yeah. So I figured maybe he can taunt, and then we killed the Nidalee if I blocked the jump.
Yeah, and this is quite bad because you're going to miss like 2 or 3 minions from this wave. So it sucks a bit. Yeah, you missed the whole wave actually. So. Good.
Yeah, should I have just ulted at the start of this fight after I dodged E or no?
It depends. Like again, just knowing your limits. Like if you know you ult him and you kill him, then do it. If you ult him and he lives with this HP, then you shouldn't ult him. So just do it. Figure out what your limits are because I can't tell you that. So yeah, you probably do kill him to be honest. And like even if you even if you ult him here and he lives with this health, it's not exactly a bad thing for you, right? Like you still basically killed him because he has to recall. So
yeah, I was just very surprised how much damage he took. It's like he could have just shielded like half of that damage, I think. He just didn't.
I want to see if just how your mechanics are here as well. If you kite forward well, yeah, you do. Like the only things I would say are, like this is good. This is already good. I would pillar, like the ideal pillar would be if you knock him back a little bit with it and you place it like kind of here so he can't walk this way and he has to walk all the way around it like this. Because I think the pillar you do, it doesn't knock him back and it's kind of a short path the way he has to go like this. Whereas I think you could have pillared a little bit better, but it's not too important, it's just mechanics.
Makes sense.
And as long as you know what you're aiming for, because I'm sure you know, like without me telling you, that the best pillar is to place one like right here. So as long as you know what you're going for, it's fine. Yeah. Can you use crash this?
Yep. Hopefully I did. I think so.
Yeah, and then I would just proc demolish on the tower. And here, like, now it's getting worse and worse to freeze, like the later in the game you go, because Mordekaiser is getting more and more value from grouping, and like even stuff like at this point, if he bases, like maybe his bot lane just comes top and you can't freeze on his bot lane, so there's like, it's not even that good to freeze on him anymore. So I think even at this point without Tiamat, when you crash this wave, I think I would just proc demolish on the tower, and then instead of trying to have the wave bounce back into me, I would just walk behind the tower and start proxying the wave.
Okay. Do you ever buy Tiamat, just like buy a Tiamat, even if you're building Trinity?
Yeah, I think definitely it depends a lot, basically entirely on your wave state, right? Because if your wave's in a spot where you're never going to be able to freeze it, then it's good to buy Tiamat, because then it doesn't matter that you're not freezing the wave. But a lot of the time you can get such like an absurd advantage from freezing the lane, where they like literally can't farm any minions. And obviously with Tiamat you can't do that because it auto pushes. So it's just up to you to recognize, like, if I build to freeze, is my freeze going to provide me a lot of value? Because, and to do that, you also have to be able to realize how OP it is to proxy on someone. Because, do you have a proxy? Like, have you ever proxied with like
probably not enough.
Yeah, because like when I play champs,
I do sometimes when I'm like really strong, because then you get the recall faster. But
yeah, like when I play
not enough for sure.
When I play champs like Garen or Aurelia, was a really good one for this as well. You can literally, like at level 5, right, after your first base, and you have like Berserker Greaves, you can literally just stand here at level 5, kill this wave, like kill Krugs, go here, kill this wave, kill Raptors, go back here, kill this wave, dive mid lane. Like, it's crazy, like, the number of things you can do when you start proxying. So to be able to weigh up how good a proxy is and how good a freeze is, you need to have done both to realize what it is. To realize like what you're missing out on and what you are trying to go for. So like in a game like this, it was really obvious that you had like 100 times where you could have got a freeze that would have just ended the game, but you didn't punish it. So now you don't know how how good a freeze is, and then also like you didn't do the Tiamat thing, so you don't know how good like doing the Tiamat proxying is. So you basically need to have done both, a little bit like limit testing, to realize like what you should do here. Yeah, and I think another thing to consider when you're doing Tiamats versus Sheen is like how valuable is it to put them behind? Because against Mordekaiser, it's obviously really valuable, right? Because if he doesn't have any stats, he can't do what he wants to do, which is ult people and kill them. But say if you're playing against an Ornn, he doesn't really care if he just farms every wave onto tower, because he's still providing like CC to his team. He's got his ultimate. He can upgrade their items. He can still provide value to his team. So, like, sorry, if you freeze on him, right, he's still going to do that. Whereas if you proxy on him, he's still going to do what he would have done if you would have frozen on him, which is to upgrade items and CC people. But inversely, like, now you've gotten, like, you're getting like 12 CS per minute because you're farming the jungle as well as your lane. And you've got like 1 million timers to try and dive people or like fight their jungler. So, yeah, the other thing to take into account is just how much does it impact putting someone else behind. And like generally putting a tank behind isn't as valuable as putting someone like a juggernaut, like a bruiser behind. So that's what I take into account when I'm choosing between these items.
I like the concept. So here, I don't even know why I'm recalling, to be honest.
Yeah, this obviously doesn't do anything. And it's like, this is good if you're going to recall and then run to dragon, but I don't think you're doing it. So.
No, I think I just bought more bad items.
Yeah. So you buy items that, like, sure, Hexdrink is fine because it's good against all the champs, but you miss 6 minions for it. It doesn't change anything about the game right now. So it's just a bad recall.
It was just not good. And then I die, I think, here, because I'm just being an idiot. Because he has Rylai's, and my boots don't do anything against Rylai's.
I'd be really surprised if he can kill you 1v1. I think you should always beat him. And you can see, I don't know, now it is catching up on you a bit. Like, you've taken 3 bad bases now, so you're actually down the level, which is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, just ult him here, and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wasted the pillar, so I lose.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'd still be surprised if you can't just run away from him. Yeah.
No, I couldn't escape the passive. I couldn't get out.
Yeah, you should be able to dodge this E. Like, that's because if you dodge this, you just, like, even if he has got passive on you, it's not doing any damage to you. It's if he can cast his spells on you that will do damage to you. So.
Mm-hmm. And if I had good boots, I would have just walked away too.
Yeah, that as well.
Like, this should never have happened in the first place, even if I make every other mistake.
Yeah, and it's also super illegal that he has more items than you, because of all those times that you could have like been zoning him off minions. It's the reason that you can buy like
all my bad
these items. And you've got like the Sheen, which is not good at all, and you've got the Merc Treads, which is worth 450 gold. You've got the potions. Yep. I sure use the potions, that's fine. Then you've got Hex Drink, which is really good. So you've got like 1,000, maybe these items.
Yeah, it's just so much gold that didn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that'll be probably most of the laning for this game. I don't imagine the lane phase will have much left. Yeah, just take his tower. So it'll all just be macro at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely my weakest point. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I would say, like, even if your macro is bad, like, if you start...
I mean, the laning phase makes up for a lot. Yeah. Like, I win so many games just from being better at laning than average people at my rank.
Yeah, but you saw how bad that, like, how much you...
Oh, I know, I'm still terrible.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So,
objectively.
Like, even...
But I don't die as much as other people, so it's like...
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, even if your macro is bad, you're still an emerald with a laning phase that you have so much to improve on. So even if you do only improve your lane phase, like 100%, you'll just skyrocket in elo. So.
Yep, for sure. So
this is
here,
kind of locked camera syndrome, because you don't see anything which is going on over here, and you're just like, oh, free Pantheon, without realizing Nidalee and Corki are both leaving.
Yeah, this team play was horrible. I don't even know if we get away with it, but I just wasted pillar for no reason, and then I wanted to just leave, but my team stayed. So it's like I saw the Mordekaiser coming down, and we just stuck around anyways. So I think eventually I just fight the Mordekaiser just because, but
yeah, but then you lose because it's 2v1. So.
No, and then Lee left him to die.
What the fuck? She sees your whole team in mid lane.
Yeah. No, I had no idea what he was doing
actually,
here.
Do you know what? Peace out. I'm gonna leave. Just griefs the
yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
So I was a bit worried about the Nidalee Q just coming to kill me, but I don't know.
That's so funny.
Figured out Hex Drinker left over, so maybe I can just risk that.
That's gotta be the funniest thing I've seen all day. She just jumps in and leaves.
You know, Emerald games and stuff. So,
it's crazy.
Like, I should probably just die here.
Yeah,
like,
you should, definitely. But yeah, okay. You get rewarded for a bad fight.
Yeah. Oh. And the Shen was just basically running it down for a few minutes. So, just, yeah, I don't know.
I think going bot lane here is... I'm not sure. I think it's alright. The only problem is, if you do end up laning here for a long time and then dragon spawns, you would rather be top lane because you're further away from the objective. So I think because...
My argument was like 2 minutes till dragon. Yeah. So like the Malzahar to go top first, and then I could go bot for a bit.
Yeah.
And I could switch like next recall.
Yeah, but I think there might be a situation where you lane for 2 minutes 40 seconds and then you don't actually ever get to recall. So it's probably better, like, because the tier 1 here is already gone, it's not like you need to catch this wave really urgently. So I would probably just run top lane from base. And even though it's like a little bit awkward because your wave's pushing away from you, you could still just like run here, like do wolves, then like look to gank mid lane, and by that time they would have cleared this wave, and then you can go top lane after that.
Okay. So what do you do if your teammate just like tells you to leave Bolt? Because I was already halfway here, and then Malzahar started pinging me to go somewhere else, which made no sense.
I think Malzahar's making the right pings, because like he realizes that he wants to be bot side for when dragon spawns. And like even though you're here, it's not like you now...
I'm right here. Like I'm standing halfway in bot, and then he pinged me.
Yeah, I think even if you get pinged right now, then you should go. Like even if you're standing here and Malzahar pings you, then you should still go top lane.
Okay.
You should, like, as soon as you realize going top lane is better, you should go there straight away. So it's good that Malzahar pings you, because he's definitely doing the right thing. Especially like even more so because he's playing Ignite. So if he does get trapped in top lane, then like not only is he super vulnerable to ganks because he's playing Malzahar, but he has no way to group with his team. So it's terrible if Malzahar has to go top lane and doesn't get to recall before dragon. So yeah, this is actually quite troll by you.
Okay.
And now you're also, because you spent so much time in bot lane, you're not even in time to catch the top wave now. And so what I would have done, like when I got pinged here, is I would have run mid, and then like you can see how in this game, like that might have even been good for us, because as I was on my way top lane, there was a fight here that I might have been able to help with. So.
That does sound a lot more logical than what I had thought.
Yeah, I still think...
But yeah, the Malzahar left the lane open for like 2 minutes, so that bothered me.
I still think even though you got solo killed earlier, you could probably still all in this guy. The only thing I would think about is like how your ultimates interact, where he's stealing your magic resist, so it's kind of a game of chicken where you want to be the last person to ulti, because it's better if he like ults you at the start of a fight, and then he's like stolen your magic resist, and then you ult him and take it back. So that's the only thing I would think about. But I think you should still be looking for an all-in right now, because you are still playing Trundle. And you should win it.
Mm.
Like, the only awkward thing is that because he has Rylai's, he can, like, if you start running at him right now, he's probably going to Q and then, like, E backwards. So it's, like this. And he's going to try and knock you away. And if he does that, then it's kind of bad for you because you lose this health. But you'll still get to life seal it. So I'd still be looking for all-ins.
Mm-hmm. I think for some reason he just took the tower.
Yeah,
or tried to at least, and then he just got...
Yeah, you should definitely kill him.
Hit.
And here is like another thing where you should be realizing that you win the all-in. So when he eats like this, just stand up and walk towards him because he's helping you. Right there.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm like messed up and then died because I ulted too early.
Maybe. I'd be surprised if you die.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit
early or something.
But yeah, I think it's just the ulti thing, right? Because he ulted so early, and if you both don't ult, it's better for you because you have better stats than he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would, instead of just standing still, you should do like auto sideways, and then maybe he'll miss a Q as well, even though you probably won't dodge one, but like there's still a chance he messes it up. And also, if you'd been trying to all in earlier, then he can't just take the tower in your face as well. So you'd have that advantage for you as well. But you'd still have a tower with you. Yeah, I'm really surprised you lose that. That's a bit crazy. But it's like
all
these wasted stats on like items that do nothing. So.
Yep, just all the mistakes adding up there.
Yeah, it works out for you fine anyway because you get the assist. The only problem is your tempo's like a little bit late now because you can see how you're only halfway to top lane and the dragon's spawning right now, so you don't really have time to set up your split push, which is what you would like to do. So I don't know, you might end up just having to kill this wave and then TP because you're not in time to pressure this tower, but it'll depend because if the enemy team is also late to this dragon, then you will have time to set up your split push, so it's alright. But yeah, while you're doing this, Shen is here as well. That's crazy. He's just got Shen syndrome, like he.
I don't know. He was chat muted at this point too, and
it's kind of okay because
he's
playing Shen. Because like what he could do, he shouldn't show on vision if he's going to do this. But what he should do, like he could do because he's playing Shen, is like if he stays in fog and then tries to gank whoever matches you, and then he could like ulti to the fight afterwards. But that's only because he's playing Shen. But he should never show on your wave. Like, that was pretty bad. But
yeah, and we also had no vision, so that didn't quite help.
Because he's the only one who can place vision at the dragon, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like while you're doing this, I would still be moving my camera down to check what's going on at dragon, so I know like if I should be TPing or not. Because even though you can't see anything, like maybe if you move your camera right now, like maybe you see that Nidalee's half HP or something, and then you're like, okay, this dragon fight is actually doable. Yeah,
makes sense.
This is like just walking there with locked cam. Okay, but yeah, just walking there is quite bad because now, like,
I should I decided like halfway that I have to go back. I just wasted a whole bunch of time.
Usually, the punish for them doing dragon is that you get to cross map topside, but now you've given up your cross map, and you're never going to stop this dragon happening. So you're literally just like spending 30 seconds where you could have been like taking this wave, farming Krugs, maybe hit this tower, all this stuff that you could have done.
Yep.
And I think at this point in the game is when it's you need to start building towards a Titanic or a Ravenous Hydra, because killing waves really slowly is going to be a problem for you now if you can't kill waves quickly. Because now you miss out on opportunities where you could have been one-shotting this camp, which is level 1 somehow at 19 minutes. I think you're alright, too.
Yeah, I ended up just going for a walk for some reason.
Yeah, the only thing
I ended up getting out too. But
yeah, the only thing I would say is not to W, because it's very obvious that they all come for you. So this is a good ward, but as soon as you see Mordekaiser, then you should leave, because you already get your advantage when you bring someone here. Um, and so, like, what I would do is when you walk in here, I would stand like right here in this corner, and from there you can ward the bush next to red buff. So I put my blink ward in there, and then I know if I'm ever getting ganked, and then I can just walk here, and as soon as I see someone, I can W and run away. And you just do that all the time as Trundle, just trolling the enemy team.
Yeah, that does make more sense. Does it matter that it's Mountain Rift, or I still see everything?
Yeah, you
I don't
still.
actually know.
I'm not sure actually. Maybe you're right. You might not see them if they walk like this, which would be quite bad. So maybe it's better to try and walk in here and place the ward here.
Okay, we can do that.
But yeah, like it's still the ward you play sees enough. So it doesn't really matter. Like you still did the right thing.
I should just leave instead of trying to
Yeah.
trade. I was like, maybe I can just trade my life for the tower because I'm not worth anything at the moment. But then the Lucian dealt more damage than I expected. So
yeah, and I can tell you're not a locked cam player because you've got this thing, so you're pressing spacebar to do this. But like
I should be looking more.
Like as soon as you click here, just move your camera down to see what Italy's doing, because you can be gathering all this info, which will like help you make.
Yeah, I was looking at my mini map, but I can just move my camera. It's probably better.
She might, like, even from here, you wouldn't know, but she could be throwing a spear here, which you could dodge if you moved your camera. Yeah, but pretty crazy you get out there. You run.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gotten out.
I'll play enemy jungle.
Not it. Yeah.
But it's good for you. Like this is like the ideal thing. So again, you get like rewarded for doing a bad play. But.
Yeah. Okay, so when do you sell Doran's Blade? Let me put it that way.
I like the Doran's items right now. Like,
I see some people just keep them forever. Like they never sell them.
Yeah, so Doran's Blade.
Kind of crazy.
The way I would rate them is like blade, ring, and then shield. And like in the scale of how the game goes, like if this is early, mid, and late game. These two ones, okay, maybe it's more like this, I think. This item gets better the longer the game goes on, because it's got Omnivamp. So the more AD you have, the more of that Omnivamp you're utilizing. So the longer you can hang on to this item, the more value it's giving you. Obviously, you should still sell it if you can like use it to get a power spike. Like if you could sell it right now to buy your more, then you should probably do that. But this item, like ideally, you just keep it until you have 6 items, and then you sell it to buy your 6th item. Stuff like D-Shield is better like early game. It has like nothing that scales. All it's giving you is flat HP and like a little bit of health for taking damage. So it's like super OP early game, but like it just tapers off a little bit. And then the same with like D-Ring. It's kind of good in mid game, but not like that mid game. It's like it's always giving you mana. It gives you AP, but if you can sell it for a power spike, then it's always better. But Doran's Blade, like I like to keep this item as long as I can. It's a really strong, like I think it's the most stat efficient item in the game when you have some AD with it. So.
Okay, so would you have sold the Doran's Blade here for Tiamat?
For Tiamat, it's hard to say.
Okay.
I think.
Too situational.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it just because I'm greedy. And I think this item is so OP the longer you keep it, so I wouldn't have done it. But Tiamat is also super OP because it's letting you push so much faster. So I think you can do either, and it's not that big of a deal. I do think that getting Tiamat right now is a very big power spike for you. So it's totally fine if you sell it for Tiamat, and it's kind of up to you to decide how valuable is the wave clear, do you think, right now?
Yeah, I think I started buying it more in the next couple of Trundle games, just because I sucked so much stuff gets bad wave clear.
Yeah.
Also, I probably shouldn't be typing. I know. I mute chat most of the games. You know.
Yeah. Typing is obviously terrible.
This is nothing positive from it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, here again, it's like more locked camera syndrome. Like your brand is fighting for like 10 seconds, and you don't even move your camera. Because it's impossible to tell whether you should have moved here or not. Like some games you should have done, some games you shouldn't, but this game it's fine. It was good that you stayed. But again, it's like rewarded for a mistake. This looks good. I think I would ping Baron after this.
I think actually I later in chat too about Baron.
Yeah, I think this is too late though. Like, as soon as you see
this, I didn't trust these people to do Baron, so I think we gave up like 2 more chances to do Baron.
Yeah, and this is like it's like another thing to do with pinging. Like I tell people, pings are almost the most AOP thing in the game. When pings got nerfed, and like you could only do 6 pings every like minute instead of 30 seconds, I swear I lost.
Yeah, I hate it.
Like it was so bad because like pings cost nothing apart from your like mental energy, right? So it's not like you're losing gold to ping. So as soon as you kill them here, just ping the Baron 6 times, and even if your team don't go to Baron, then it's like whatever. You didn't lose anything for pinging it, and if they had gone to Baron, you would have just won the game. So, yeah, I would like even while I'm killing this Mordekaiser, I would kill him, and as I was doing it, I would just be moving my camera towards Baron, so I'm ready to ping it as much as I can, because I want us to do it straight away. Like we killed Nidalee, she's dead for 17 seconds. Malzahar's going to be here as well. We're 4 of us. I'm playing Trundle, he's playing Brand. We have so much DPS on that Nash, so I would want to start it as soon as I can. And Corki's bot lane on top of that. Like, now Ezreal's death doesn't mean anything, because, like, usually this death would be fine because we would take Baron. But now we can't even take Baron, so Ezreal's just entered. But you could have made this a good death for Ezreal if you'd pinged the Baron.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I just wanted to show you.
And again, like, even if you don't trust your team, just ping it, because nothing bad happens from trying to do the right play. Like, you should always, like, a lot of people say this, where they're like, oh, I didn't
like, just assume your team is good.
Yeah.
So maybe they surprise you.
Oh, I didn't do this tower dive because I didn't think my jungler would want to do it. But then they don't even ping the tower dive. So it's like, well, sure. Sure, your team is bad because they didn't recognize they could do it, but you don't know if you'd pinged it and like showed your team what the right play was to do, then maybe they would have done the right play. So you should always try and do the right play, and never assume your team is bad until they show they're bad.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this is nice. 700 gold. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like, I love this. And then like Corki
is just nice. And I run away.
I don't know.
This is a bit very scary. There's no reason to walk through the jungle. Just so you see flashes, just run away, because like this is good because you'll kill Corki if he doesn't flash, and it's worth to go 1-for-1 with him. So as soon as I did this pillar, I was already in the mindset that I'm probably going to die killing him here. But as soon as he flashes, I'm like, okay, I'll just leave now because I already got everything I could get.
Yeah.
Because I'm very scared that people are coming from mid lane, so walking into the jungle is very scary. But you waste all their time, and you get a red buff from a Brand, I guess.
Yeah, and I hear I took the stupid plan because I wasn't sure if I stayed around or not.
Yeah.
But I guess do stay because Corki has no flash. So
yeah, this is bad though, because Corki, unless he's a complete bot, is never going to stay top lane here, because it's like walking here as Corki with no flash is just suicide. Like anyone could tell you that. So I really want to go bot lane, not only because it's further away from Baron, which is good for me, but it also lets my Ezreal group, which he really wants to do, and I really want to be 1v1 with people. So it just fixes the macro for our team if I base as soon as I can, so that I can take over bot lane, because you don't want
makes sense.
Ezreal in the side lane like this. It's really bad. So yeah, I'm assuming you do base. No, okay. Yeah. This seems a little bit like a flip.
Yeah, then.
And you went here as well? Oh, you got chunked. I mean, TP then. Okay.
Yep. I recall TP back, and I think we take Baron eventually.
And you can imagine how, if this was you bot lane right now, like you would just be able to be pushing to this tower, and Ezreal would be at this Baron. Like he would be here earlier. He is here, but he would have been here 30 seconds ago, like poking these people and doing DPS to the Nash. And you can just see how much how much better for your team that would be. So hanging around here is really bad. You got the back. I'm assuming it was
Yeah, we got the berry.
pure 50-50. Okay, and
No.
he just doesn't even jump in the pits. But yeah, I mean,
you should have tried.
So 50-50, right? Because she has full vision of it. She had that pink ward in the pits.
They didn't give me any wards, so I had to teleport really awkwardly.
Yeah.
Like, there was no wards from our team, like, anywhere.
But then again, like, because you're Trundle, you don't really provide much value in team fights, so it's kind of a low value TP for you anyway. Like, you would much prefer to be hitting this turret bot lane. If you could be.
Yeah, it could be. Like, from way before. That's true.
Yeah, I'm assuming just win the game from this?
Yeah, I think eventually we do. I think it's going to take a while more. But
yeah.
I fuck up some more itemization things, and then eventually we kill towers and win. It's just a whole lot more nonsense because the Ezreal was just really aggressively dying.
Yeah. And this guy is really OP. And he should never be OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't do anything which is really stupid, then it's fine. You can probably... Okay, you don't have a wave.
Yep. Then at some point I bought Vincent. So should I have bought Wits End earlier in the game?
Oh yeah, I was going to say about that. Like, I would have done more of the Wits End. I think that's good because obviously the tenacity on Wits End is wasted. So just getting the AD from more is fine. And then I was also going to say, like, buying 2 magic resist items is kind of bad because you already get enough magic resist from 1 item for it to be worth it. So I'd much rather build like more and then go, well, you can't go Sterex, but that would be ideal. Just go an HP item, so like Black Cleaver or something, where you get some HP, and that way you have loads and loads of effective HP because you're getting all of the magic resist, and then all of that magic resist has been used with all of the extra HP as well. So just I usually only build 1 resistance item. Like some games, there'll be times you can build 2, but like usually I just go for 1 of them.
Okay, makes
so
sense.
I think instead of the Wits End here, you can go like... I definitely would have had Titanic Hydra this game.
I don't know why I didn't have Hydra this game, but yeah. I was a bit all over the place in this game. But...
Yeah, take 3 inhib or 2 inhibs, then do dash. Maybe?
I don't even know what we did. Okay. I think we just killed everybody.
Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, honestly, like you said, it was your macro that was bad, but I think the only reason that macro is difficult in this game is because you're losing to the Mordekaiser, like 1v1. Whereas, like, how free this game could have been, just because of the advantage you had from picking Trundle into Mordekaiser. You get such a big advantage just from draft, and then having the lane set up for you perfectly, where Nidalee can't even, like, help out the Mordekaiser. Like, I think if you just, like, gotten one of those freezes off and done it properly, you would just, like, win the game with bad macro, and it wouldn't matter. So, like, I would honestly say, working on those, on, like, your, like, recognizing wave states and, like, how to freeze, what you get from the freeze, thinking about, like, what you're going to do with the freeze before it even happens, so you're mentally prepared for it. I think if you do those things, it'll be the most useful thing that you can do for yourself.
For sure. It all makes sense. I just have to make sure I actually think about it in game.
Did I answer all of these? Was there anything else in here that you wanted to ask?
Oh, do I ever sell the refillable potion for something? Or wait?
Yeah, I mean, so the longer the game goes, the less value you get from refill potion, right? Because at this point in the game, it's 250 gold, or 250 HP out of 1500 gold, or 1500 HP, sorry. So it's like...
not as important anymore.
I don't know what the percentage is, but like less of a percentage than it was here, where it's 250 out of 1000, right? So like it obviously has less value. So again, it's kind of the same, where if you think to yourself that the power spike you're getting by selling it is worth more than the 250 HP, then you should sell it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
I just have to like play better.
Sorry, I think you cut out for a bit.
I think I just have to play the game better, but there's not really.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, I
No more
guess.
questions, at least.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what we're all trying to do, is play the game better. So as long as you have in your mind how you're going to do that, then you'll be alright.
Mm-hmm. Definitely giving me a lot of things to think about.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Cool.
Because like with all the things I wrote out, I didn't even notice that I was playing so defensively
Mm-hmm.
compared to what I could be. So
Yeah, yeah,
we're gonna be limit testing.
yeah. Yeah,
Why not? We'll figure it out.
cool. Alright then. Um, yeah, if you have no more questions, I'll stop recording it here. And then I'll probably upload upload to YouTube in the next like 1 or 2 days. And then also in like
Sounds good.
3 weeks' time, I'll send you a survey, just about the coaching, and if you could fill that out, it'll be really useful for me.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. It helps me out a lot.